Alright guys, it's Halloween and candy's not the only thing dropping. It's more books, so stay tuned. Welcome back, Gainers, to another incredible, exciting, fantastic, special Halloween episode of ComicGains! Woo! Alright guys, if you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is Princess, the Spire Woman Highness, doing that princess way. Might be shooting some webs, so bow down, watch out, and your spider sense is definitely tingling. Woo.
Yeah, she stepped in a puddle outside and it turned out to be a symbiote. A symbiote. It was a red costume, then it turned into a black costume. Alright guys, so I want to wish everybody a happy, safe Halloween. And it is Monday, and should be kicking in the candy soon, or handing out the candy, or what we do around here is give out about half the candy and then eat the rest of the candy. That's usually how it goes. So when you get that sugar high, it's always a good idea to look at the drop list in case there's any books you were interested in buying a year ago that are now a lot cheaper, you know? Or books you're interested in buying a year ago that you were like, okay, glad I didn't buy that. Or you did buy it and now it's way cheaper and you're either upset with yourself or happy with yourself.
Absolutely.
Goes both ways. Goes both ways. So, yeah, we got a nice new drop list for you. But before we get into any of that, it's a little early on this Halloween, and we're going to kick this off with a milkshake.
I gotta get swole. This has 15 grams of protein. It's Atkins strawberry. It's delicious, I'm hoping. We'll find out in a second. Let's get into it.
Didn't the Atkins guy die from, like, being overweight?
Sounds about right. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's like that same situation with strawberry milk you used to get at school, the small ones.
Really?
It's like, okay.
Strawberry doesn't sound like the right flavor for me for like a milk, but some people like it. I'm more a chocolate guy.
It's okay. It's almost like it's vanilla plus a slight amount of strawberries. It's really vanilla milkshake.
All right, guys. So, like we said, we've been doing the drop list for quite some time, kind of reporting on these comic books that have been dropping. And what the Gains crew does, we scour the internet for hot lists, trending lists, all kinds. We don't just pick off one. We go off all these different kinds of lists. We make sure they're a year old, and we try to figure out which books that were trending and really hot have now taken a significant dive to where we just let you know the difference in price. And a lot of times these are good ideas to pick up because the price has gotten so much lower. And like I said, sometimes they just weren't good books to spec on anyways. And we kind of give you a fair assertion of what the book is, you know, how we feel about it. And, you know, as we go into 2022, get deeper to the end of 2022, it's definitely been a year of a lot of books dropping, you know, whether or not it's been tougher because before there was a lot of good reasons why books were going down. Now it's a lot of books that haven't even come out yet. Movies are already dropping. We had like a whole Riri episode, and that should not be happening. And, you know, sometimes it goes that way, but we've bought a lot of books off of our list, and I know a lot of our viewers and stuff has contacted us and like, hey, we bought books based on the drop list too. So it's a cool thing. It's exciting. We have a good time doing it, and we learn a little bit. So you already kill it?
Yeah.
You must have liked it.
No.
No? It's a little chalky?
Just gotta get those protein gains.
All right. So let's kick off the list. And this week we had all 5 books of the drop list. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll see. Kicking off the list, we have Nextwave, Agents of Hate, number 1. And this is from 2006. You have Stuart Immonen and Warren Ellis as the creative group on this book. Sweet, sweet cover. But this is first appearance of the team Nextwave, which you got like Elsa Bloodstone in there, and you've got Monica Rambeau, I think Machine Man, there's a couple other good characters. I think Boom Boom's on the team as well. Always like Boom Boom.
She had a big butt.
Did she?
She had a boom boom.
Oh, okay. But it's also this kind of cool book because I didn't know about this, so I need to read the story. Princess has the whole set, and she's the big collector of the story, but it's definitely on my list of things to read. You have Dirk Anger, who's the director of Hate, is his first appearance, and this is actually the introduction to the Beyond Corporation.
Okay.
So, which is a huge entity right now in comics. They're like, the whole Spider-Man story is all around the Beyond Corporation. So, cool. I didn't know that they actually showed up originally in this book. And it's the first time Elsa Bloodstone has red hair. So, if you were wondering that, she started out with the white hair. She gets the red hair in this book. There's also a director's cut edition, which is actually cut in price. It's about half the value of the regular book. So sometimes the director's cut worth more. Yeah. Sometimes in this case it is worth less, but it's a very cool cover. I think it's really the only key in the set, but a lot of them have really good Elsa covers. So
Okay.
if you're someone like the princess and you're collecting those, you might be collecting the other ones in the Nextwave series. But Zach will let you know the dealio on this Dropilio.
So
If that's a thing.
yeah, I don't think that's a thing. I don't know. Who
I'm
knows?
starting it.
So prices a year ago, at least last sold a year ago or a year from now, was $499.99. Now it's $299.99. It's a $200 drop right there. The lowest spin is $242.50. Highest $500. Average sales $384.06. It's kind of, I mean, it's kind of high for a book of this time period, I actually think. And I was like looking into it, and it's like less than 109.8. So if this book is really popular, I'm thinking the price is going to go even farther down. But at the same time, if it gets really popular, it could just pull a Deadpool and just be really expensive for 90, even though there's a million of them. So I it's kind of a give take kind of thing. It's like you're taking a chance by buying it at this price, which is a low price, lowest price it's been in a year. But the upside could be, quadruple your money. Could be, potentially.
There's a lot of potential with Elsa too. So if they did this Nextwave team, in some form with the MCU, a TV show, these are all like they do really well with like kind of these unsung heroes, like Machine Man and Boom Boom would be cool. We already have Monica Rambeau, and she hasn't been utilized that much. So, you never know. It could be a cool like team to throw together and just see how it goes.
It could be. I would probably just try to find a raw one and then send it in. Hopefully get a 9.8. Or a 9.2.
If you've seen any of our recent videos.
9.2 has happened.
Yeah, be happy with a 9.2.
I would just send it in raw. On hopefully 9.8. That's what I think. Buying a 9.8 already might be a waste of money. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. I hear you. Loud and clear, Captain. All right. Next up on the list, and we have a little bit of an Elsa show for you today, guys. So this is Deadpool #2, recent book. It's from 2020. It's only a couple years old, but this is a 1:25 variant ratio cover from Mirka and Dolpha. And this is a cool book because it's just flat out a dope cover. The rest of the book means pretty much nothing unless you're a huge Deadpool fan. I think even this series doesn't really even have any like big keys in it. I think the 2020 Deadpool series wasn't that popular of a series. So there's I don't even think there's any other keys really in this run. Mostly, and cover 8 of this book isn't nothing, but it's just a great cover, and I think we can all agree on that. It was very expensive when it came out. If you see America at a con, which she's super nice, she very much likes this cover because it's one of her big banners that's behind her at the con. So it's a really good cover, really cool book to have, but it has definitely dropped a little bit in price. It's still hard to find because it is that a tough ratio for a book people weren't buying. Why would you buy 25 copies of a Deadpool book that's not a key to get this cover? So it has that going for it. That's a big thing.
Oh, my turn? Oh, I was like, I usually lead into it. Zach, what do you think? Anyways, so this is very interesting because it also showed the disparity of all of the sites that say, like the selling data, because it's always kind of a little bit, sometimes leave stuff out. This one was kind of hard to figure out because I know for a fact it has dropped, sad to say, but some other sites, I won't state, said that it's actually going up. So I'm like, this is skewed data right here. So I looked specifically at eBay sales, and it was pretty big of a difference. They had the same lasso, but this sale from a year ago, they left stuff out. So I'm like, that's kind of weird. Anyways, price a year ago on eBay were $400. It was a $400 book in the 98. Now it's $269.99. Range is $175 to $400. Average sale is $262.52. This is amazing cover. It's awesome. I would probably, if it was at $175, I'd buy it right now. $269.99. It's a maybe. It's a maybe right now. It's a maybe. It's a beautiful cover. Probably the best Elsa Bloodstone cover I've ever seen, honestly, so far.
In the red hair.
In the red hair. In the red hair.
I don't know anything rivals the blonde hair cover.
I already have the blonde hair cover. Score. Yeah, it's a maybe. It's a maybe kind of buy. And this kind of tells you, right, for at least this book and probably a lot of others, make sure to do your research heavily before making your purchase. You don't want to just click to buy it now, unless you really, 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 really want that book and you don't have no regrets ever. Not even one word. Not even one letter.
Yeah, there's nothing more than a gamble than on a ratio. You know what I mean? Because technically, like when a ratio comes out 1 in 25, it should potentially be a $25 book.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially. So it either goes up or it goes down. And you got to kind of play that gamble. And there's so many like factors that go into how expensive a ratio is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and next up on the list, we'll go a little away from Elsa just for a little while. Actually, I don't think we have any more Elsa on the list. But we have Incredible Hulk 449 from 1996, and this is kind of one of those books we're talking about that like this hasn't even happened yet, and it's already going down in price, which is such a sad time for 2022. But if you really like the Thunderbolts, might be a good idea to pick this up. But this is done by Mike Deodato and Peter David. This is obviously the first team appearance of the Thunderbolts in comics, and this at this time was led by Baron Zemo. But yeah, Thunderbolt Ross, obviously his team, and this book since 2019 has been on people's spec list. Since 2019, we all had an idea that the Thunderbolts were coming. It has gone up, it has gone down, it has gone up again, it has gone down again, and now at the most recent con, we now know that the Thunderbolts will round out the phase 5, and they will kind of take over, kind of like a little pseudo Avengers team, where like they kind of like gathering up each member from different movies. And then they're basically going to create a team at the end of a phase. Kind of similar to the Avengers, I think. But it's a very, very cool book. I know at this time period in Hulk, there's a lot of trash books. There's like hardly anything good in the Hulk series around the 400s. But you got some interesting stuff going on. Our William Hurt, who is an amazing actor, unfortunately passed away, has been playing Thunderbolt since the beginning of the MCU. He's in the original Hulk movie, which I love. Lost in Space, one of my favorite movies. Great movie. He's good in that movie. But as we know now, I think Harrison Ford is taking over the role, which is if someone's got to take the change, might as well be Harrison Ford taking over the role. But it's a cool book, and we'll kind of see what happens. Obviously, the Thunderbolts team is going to be completely different than what it was in the comics. I don't think any of these characters, not one character was made the same team. We'll see Baron Zemo. That's the one that everyone thought was going to be on the team, but he wasn't in that roster at the con. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. This could be one of those books, like, do you think after the movie it's going to just go way, way back down, like Illuminati style, or do you think it's going to stay strong for a while?
No, I think it's going to be strong for a good while. Because I think if they're bringing in a team, they're probably going to have sequels as long as it does okay. If the movie does really badly, it's not going to have really good games. Because I don't think there's really a first appearance in these. Maybe one or two, but it's a team appearance. So it's kind of like...
The original team was kind of spotty, though. There wasn't, like, really super well-known characters.
Right.
In the original Thunderbolts team.
Think about...
and they all had code names for some reason.
Yeah. Just think about the big 6 or 7 Silver Age keys. The lowest of all of them, now, it was another book, but the lowest of the big keys is Avengers 1 for the Silver Age. The big grail keys. And that's just a team appearance. There's no first appearances backing it. At all. I mean, this is what I'm seeing, anyways, in the numbers. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's actually mid-tier now. Anyways, I sold mine. Doesn't matter. But anyways, prices a year ago, crazy. $999.99 for a 9.8. Now
didn't quite break the 1,000 mark.
White, penny off. Price now $455. Range 408. So it's pretty low. It's pretty close to the low. To as high, insane high, 2,160.
And this is all non-newsstand, right?
And that was sold on Heritage. Don't buy on Heritage. My opinion, though.
Well,
my opinion. Average sales 655.04. I don't think it's a bad time to buy this book. I mean, it's $455 for a 9.8 in this era is kind of high. It's a 90s book. It's all of that kind of stuff. It's
the paper quality sucks.
Sucks
on this book.
But
that might be why it's a little more expensive. It's that weird. Yeah, you like look at it, and it looks like it's gonna fall apart.
But I could see them. I could see them get back up to the $2,000 mark in price. It's a stretch, but so is Mr. Fantastic. That's how you get those games. I don't think it's a bad. I don't think this is a bad buy. This is probably a number 2 or 3 spot on the purchase list. Maybe not number 1. Maybe. Actually, maybe it might be a number 1. I'll say at the end. I have to do with feelings.
Okay. All right.
Use my feelings.
Okay. Now we have a first to the drop list. First ever. I don't think we've had an Icon book on the drop list, but this is Super Crooks, number 1 from Icon Publishing, and this came out in 2012. And this is a super hard name, but Lanil Francis Yu and Mark Millar are the creative group on this one. This is part of that whole universe of Jupiter's Legacy, and for some strange reason, like they came out. I think Netflix actually paid Mark Millar for like the rights to all his stuff, so they can create movies or TV shows on any of his topics, which is very cool. But they came out with Jupiter's Legacy TV show, which the first episode was horrible. The rest of the show was pretty good for what it was. I thought the show was actually pretty good. If you could get past the first episode, which was terrible, one of the worst things I've ever seen, the rest of the show was good. But they canceled it. And for some reason, they decided to do a spin-off anime style of Super Crooks. And Zach graced us all by watching it. And what is your opinion?
It was amazing.
It was good?
If you can stand anime or cartoons of any sort, give it a watch. It's kind of like Invincible in that aspect. It's amazing watch. Crazy if you get across from like, hey, it's a cartoon. I don't watch the cartoons because I'm an adult. It's like, okay, that's your opinion.
Yeah, and like basically the Super Crooks are kind of like a spin-off sort of villain team in the universe, and like in the Jupiter's Legacy thing, that kind of like power bomb like goes off and like gives everybody powers depending how close you are to the epicenter. You get more powers. If you haven't seen the thing, that's kind of how that works. But cool book. It's kind of one of those things where indie books get really hot when anything's talked about them, and then after it's over, they kind of go way back down. There is a 1 in 25 variant that is worth more than the regular one, and there's a second print that's black and white that's also worth more than cover A. So be on the lookout for those if you're interested in this book at all. I mean, those Jupiter Legacy books went way down. They were hot for a minute too. Zach, how do you feel about Super Crooks as a book as opposed to a TV show?
It's a bad buy. It's a bad buy. I want one, and I actually might get one if it ever shows up because it's going to sell for cheap. There's only been 2 sales in a 9.8 I could find. $230 a year ago. Now, $30.
$30 hairs?
$30.
They didn't even take full money. They took doll hairs.
I looked up how many were 9.8s on the census. 17. There's only 17, and it's sold for $30. I'm like, they really hate Jupiter Legacy. They really hate it. I'm probably gonna get one. If it actually buy one for 9.8 for $30, I'm buying it. But yeah, you don't buy it because you have no connection. If you have a connection to it, buy it. If you don't even look.
Collect what you want to collect.
Don't even look at it. If you're doing for spec purposes, don't buy this book. If you do it for love of the book, the characters, the anime, buy it raw, buy it graded. If it's cheap enough, heck yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna round out the list with a goodie, a classic. We have Nova #1, another one. Like Thunderbolts. Why has this book gone down in price? This is from 1976. You got Rich Buckler and Marv Wolfman. Ooh, I love Marv Wolfman. First appearance of Nova, Richard Rider, and first appearance of the Nova Corps. And you got like a bunch of characters like Richard Rider's brother, and then you have like the leader of the Nova Corps. Just an interesting book. This has also been something that's gone like up, down, because James Gunn said he wanted to use Nova, Richard Rider in Guardians of the Galaxy. We got the team of Nova Prime in the first movie, and then they didn't go any further with that, but we're pretty sure he's going to use them in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Are they going to use Richard Rider? Are they going to use Alexander? Who are they going to use? They could go, I don't know, they could go either way. I hope they do Richard Rider, because then you get more longevity out of the character, because then when they use him up, then they can switch to Alexander. Alexander's kind of more of an interesting character. If you read him, he's got a lot more like pizzazz with his speaking and talking and stuff. Is a little bit more interesting, where like the regular Nova got kind of weird. Didn't he like eventually have like a mullet later on, like in the 90s, and get like a hairy face?
We don't talk about that.
It was like, kind of some weird stuff. But definitely a cool book. You know, definitely an expensive book in a 9.8. But Zach, it has gone down a little bit. So if you're trying to get one, not way down, but it has gone down.
I mean,
like everything.
Prices a year ago for a 9.8 was $1,900. Now it's $1,650. It's been as low as $1,400 and as high as I'll round up $3,000. Has been as high as $3,000. Average sale is $2,090.51. I mean, if you're a big baller, big spender, a shot caller, I wouldn't mind buying it at this point. Because if you think about it, regardless of if it's Sam Alexander or whatever else that other guy's name is.
Richard Rider?
Richard Rider. Horrible name. No, I'm joking.
No, it's got to like rhyme together, you know?
Richard Rider, double R.
Mm-hmm.
The double R. R and R.
Peter Parker?
Rich and Rare.
Clark Kent?
No.
Bruce Banner?
That's CK.
It still rhymes, though.
Okay, I got you. If you're... Like I said, if you got a lot of extra cash in the bank, you want this in the 9.8. This is going to be a potential blue key chip.
This is going to be blue cheese if you let it sit out long enough.
I love blue cheese, by the way.
He just eats the mold. He leaves the rest of the cheese.
This is a blue key book. This is a blue key book, guys. Okay, this is a blue chip key, guys. And it's always going to be. So it might... It should.
It'll
go up like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a very expensive book later on. This is a nice Bronze Age key. And you would be very happy to have a 9.8 in your collection. And I can guarantee it.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I actually think that the whole price, $449, it's probably... I want to say it's a number 2 buy. Number 1 should be Nova, but that's a little expendy. I mean, if you can swing it, do it. If you can't, don't go broke to get this book. Don't do it. Don't go into debt. Don't do any of that. But the whole $449, if you can get that one besides the other one, I think you'll do pretty well.
If you can stand not eating for a week, then go and get the Nova book. Just don't eat for a whole week.
Longer than a week, I would assume. Unless you're making lots and lots of money.
Or you eat a lot. Calculations? All right, guys. So we'll let you get back to your Halloween. Let you get back to your candy and all that goodness. And if you like seeing the drop list, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell because you know we're going live this Wednesday. We got some new mystery boxes to open and hang out with you. And leave a comment down below. A lot of you guys let us know if you had any books on the drop list, whether you were speculating on any of these or you're glad you didn't have any or none of these you were interested in at all and all that good stuff. And yeah, Zach, you got anything else?
Yeah, sure. How you do that is you have to be a number. You have to be the number 7. And you're being interrogated, you know? Because you're the usual criminal. You're the usual criminal because you made something disappear, right? They grill you and finally you say, yes, I did it. I ate number 9. 789. 789.
I was like, that sounds like a Sesame Street thing.
789.
Yeah.
Lock me up. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Finish it.
Get those games.
Get 'em.
Every single one.
See you next time, guys.
Later.
Happy Halloween.